Hey, what's up guys, June here. In today's video, we're going over the week of May 9th, 2022. This week finished up on plus 3.1 stops. Took 2 trades and an average of plus 1.55 per trade. It's gonna be a short week, only 2 trades, so let's see what we have. First trade here, we have the Russell. So we're in a downswing, or a down move rather. It flows to the downside. And I'm following the last swing broke. So this was the last swing broke, this big gap up, and it broke it. So at the moment I'm following it, but at the same time there is a different swing in the process, right? And this is this swing right here. See this red? It repeated it, it's going down, and it's repeating right there. You could also say that there is a more smaller swing through these sizes just about, and it's expanding into it. So you could take both. However, I'm just looking at the confirmed swing, the biggest of this down leg, so there is a potential for a swing to be on this frequency. And if we go down to the trading frame, that's kind of what I'm looking at, an expansion, but also a turn at the major idea or major frame. So overall, that's the context. In terms of the trade itself, in the trade trigger, we have an expansion up. This looked like an exhaustion point, like gap up, or it's pressing, boom, and back down. It did reach a bit further, so it sort of washed this press swing. So that's something to note. And what am I waiting for? Well, I'm waiting for a quick wash of it, right? I'm looking at this, I'm following these bars. Okay, give me a nice zoom. Because at this point, you're like, okay, no, it would have to break over here, but then it starts building a little bit of buyers here. So, okay, well, if we can swap buyers hard, like, okay, here we go. Nope. At this point, I'm thinking, well, it could be washing to go a bit higher. But no, it just dribbles down. And you look at this and you consider, well, it didn't zoom it that much. So I'm looking for a quality zoom. So I'm still looking for a quality zoom. And what happens here, we have a frequency being built. So 1, boom, 2, it tries and zoom. So that's what I was looking for, a zoom somewhere in this area, because I considered this a wash. Bam, stop up here. It much higher didn't seem worth it. Took a lot of heat on it, managed to go, and bam, the target. So overall, I was looking to the downside. I thought about taking the trade, taking the trade down to here. However, I noticed this swap level, it did return to it already, so that's something to note. But I thought in the immediate sense there might be a little wash and then a pullback back up to here to take another short back down. Like if you look at these buyers zoom, I could realistically see a wash of these guys for a nice little bounce. It did bounce momentarily but continued, and it went to test these lows. It probably did it go lower? It might have went a bit lower, but it definitely touched this blue line, this center line, if you will. So that was the idea behind the trade. Flow was to the downside. It was a turn on a major frame. RVR is already plus 4.1. So I didn't mind taking this target. Also, it helps the measure move, right? This swing, this swing. So overall, I'm content with the trade. Next up, and the last trade, we have the Russell again. So this was the trade I took. As you may notice, it went all the way down. The reason why I don't want to be targeting a new low relative to this red swing is, where's my stop? My stop is local to this price action, to the trading time frame. So I got to be mindful of this frequency, because it can come all the way up to here and then go, right? So that's why I got to be careful. Anyways, I was trying to repeat this leg. What did it do? Gap up, gap back down. This is washing this swing, so that was the play. That was the context of the trade. Looking at it, this is something to break, something to fall into, a little bit of a swap. I was thinking of doing a left side entry. However, the stop was going to be too big, or the risk reward wasn't there. So I decided to look for a little bit of confirmation, which I did. This is at the extreme of price, right? We have a kind of build up, bam, expand. We're up here, boom, take the trade. The only critique I'd say for this guy, oh, I forgot to say, yeah, the previous one was a quality zoom and this one was a quality zoom. Invalid RC, unnecessary major frame issue. No, so far none of these issues came about this week, which is nice. I was gonna say the management could have been improved here. So exactly what do I mean? This swing achieved, so I could bring in the stop right there. The only problem with this one, I was willing to play it because it was a bit bigger, as well as there could have been maybe a wash of this level, but maybe not. Nevertheless, I think the management's fine for how I was playing it. It's just a small improvement. It would have maybe net me an extra 0.5% or 0.5 stops on the week, but that's not much of a big deal. Just something to note. This swing achieved, can reduce stop. Definitely don't want to move break even. I don't like break even, but I can definitely reduce it locally. So that's interesting. And then boom, this went up. It continued going up a bit higher. In fact, overall, I believe it tagged, made a slightly new high, then ripped down. So that's kind of the idea behind that trade. So that was interesting. Anyways, guys, that'll be all for this week. Short and sweet. That's what we like. Till next week. Adios.